So obviously, this film is
Hmm.
most associated with Star Wars, really.
Yep.
Or I should say the Star Wars trilogy, really. Let's not forget this film came out in 1987, 4 years after the original trilogy had ended.
Yeah.
Not in our hearts, at least. Not in our hearts, obviously, but it had ended
No.
the making and the releases of them. But it's interesting. So there's lots of nods to other films as well, though. Just off,
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just going to reel off a list. I say a list, a very very short list. And you might mention if I've missed anything. But
Okay.
I think obviously you got Aliens,
Yep.
the John Hurt scene.
That's a given.
Was interesting story about that scene. Apparently, John Hurt thought he was just doing literally a walk-on cameo, and didn't really have a contract in place for it. He just got asked to come along, so he did it, and then he turned up. And he was like, "Oh, there's
We got all these prosthetics for you and
yeah,
explosions and
I've actually got to do a full day's work here. This is not what I
yeah.
signed up for."
Fuck that.
So anyway, Aliens, Indiana Jones, given because there's
Yep.
references to the Temple of Doom and Lone Star as well. And,
Yeah. His outfit and everything.
his outfit, yes. And I think as well, is it my imagination, or does when they go into Yogurt's temple or lair,
Yeah.
to me that feels very much like the Wizard of Oz. Well, it is the Wizard of Oz, isn't it?
Yeah. It's the reveal
You got
of the
four
wizard.
characters filmed from the back. Like one's a bit cowardly, wants to run away, and then he's also when they're talking to him, and he's like, "Oh, dare come into the
Yeah,
lair."
definitely.
Whatever he
Yeah,
says.
I hadn't thought of that one, but definitely.
Yeah. Any others? Any others you reckon that are referenced that I haven't noticed?
Well, obviously, Planet of the Apes.
Well, oh yeah. I forgot about that. Yeah, when they're coming out of the, they're coming down. Is it
Massive.
coming down from the nose when they're on the beach?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, the head and the
There goes
hot
the
top of the
planet.
Hoover arm or whatever it is. Yeah. Oh, they're Spaceballs. Yeah, that kind of thing. No, I think that's all the ones I picked up on.
Stop
But
talking for a sec.
oddly,
For some reason, your channel had turned off and you weren't recording. But we've got Google recording, and I think it was mostly me talking, so it's fine.
I did hit my desk, but I don't think I dislodged anything.
No, it wasn't you. It wasn't you. It's your channel for some reason had turned off. When it's all right, it's fine. But we're here again.
Okay.
Right. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Yes. So yeah. So you don't think other than Planet of the Apes?
Yeah. Aliens.
Let's try and jump back in
Wizard
from
of
that.
Oz.
So imagine I've just said, "Did I miss anything?" And then you say,
Okay. Well, Planet of the Apes, obviously, is the big one there.
Yes.
The Hoover lady crash lands, and
Hoover lady.
the ape people spot them climbing out of the nose.
Yes, Statue of Liberty. That was just after the evacuation scene as well. Do you know that they actually used Star Wars footage in that scene?
Oh, did they? Oh, what with the escape pods?
The escape pods that were ejected.
Yeah, because I thought they looked very well done. I thought, God, they've really done a good job of that, haven't they?
Wow.
And they use it about 6 times. I thought, well, they really want to get their money's worth from that.
That is the New Hope.
Oh, they just straight up licensed the bit of footage.
Yeah, I think George Lucas, from what I understand, I think George Lucas was far more giving than legend would have it said.
The Emperor is more forgiving.
Yeah, I think there was so. According to certain things, I mean, like there's always obviously certain things around. Like he said that he couldn't have someone who looked like Han Solo, or he said that he couldn't have this, that, and the other. I mean, from what I understand, that's actually not strictly true.
Okay.
According to Mel Brook's memoirs, at least Mel Brook's autobiography, the only thing he references in that is that he didn't want anyone to look like Chewbacca.
Oh,
so
really?
that's why Barth looks the way it looks. But
I want to protect that cat dog mashup.
Yeah, but maybe I think since then, Mel Brooks has done subsequent interviews, and so it's hard to know what to believe. But he's actually said that George Lucas said, "Look, do whatever you like, don't care." The only caveat he put on any of it, he said, just don't put out any merchandise in with anything that vaguely resembles Star Wars, because
of course they make a big joke about merchandise in the film, don't they?
And we'll have a problem. Yeah, it's like, what is it you guys do here? Merchandising.
Yeah, that's quite a funny bit.
There are
some good jokes.
There are some good jokes. There's nice things. It's like the flamethrower for kids. Kids love this one. I mean, that's still inappropriate for kids to have a flamethrower. Just in case you're thinking of buying a child one for Christmas. Say Christmas.
Yeah, I guess the lightsabers coming out of a ring is sort of more of a, a bit of a twist, enough to make it different. Without treading on too many toes.
It is, and I quite like. I don't know. I quite like the. It's hard, isn't it? Because we're judging it now with our 2023 eyes.
What year is it?
Is it 2023? 1923? Who knows?
19.
But we're judging it from this perspective.
Yeah,
there's certain things I looked at. I'm quite sympathetic to certain things. Like, I like the idea of when we first meet Dark Helmet, and he's about to, like, in our heads watching that, if we're Star Wars fans at the time, we're like, might be about to force choke, and then he shoots him in the balls with his laser. It's like, that's quite good. I like that. And at the time, if you watch that first time round in 1987, you're like, yep, that's funny.
As a kid, that's fucking hilarious. That is.
It is hilarious. Yeah. Well,
you don't care that they
in the balls as a kid.
Oh yeah.
Anything testicle related.
Oh, that's the height of humour, basically, when you're a child, isn't it?
Just adding a fart. That's basically. Gold.
Yeah, that's the only reason anyone watches, You've Been Framed or anything like that. I just want to see someone take a football straight to the groin. That's the only reason.
I have no interest in anything else.
I want to see a toddler take his toy hammer and absolutely smash his dad's testicles in.
Oh, good God. Good God.
It's fine. They get 250 quid. So, who's the real winner in all this?
Yeah.
Or 50 quid in the 90s. But.
50 quid in the 90s. Been castrated for 200 or 50 quid or whatever it is.
Bargain.
Yeah. I think, but the opening scene, though, from again, looking at it from a perspective of then versus now, like the ridiculousness of the ship. And it's bonkersly big.
Yeah.
Whereas now it's been surpassed by other Star Wars ships.
I suppose, yeah. But it's that opening bit, it's sort of, okay, I get the joke. And then it keeps going, and it keeps going, and it keeps going. And then it gets funnier again a little bit. And then you're just like, fuck's sake, come on.
When's this going to end?
And they keep doing that joke where every vehicle's got some funny bumper sticker on the back.
Yeah,
that's a very dated joke, isn't it?
Yeah, number plate. Like,
that's it. Yeah, or a number plate.
Spoil rotten.
Yeah,
we don't break, or we don't slow down for anyone.
Yeah, all that kind of stuff.
I can't remember the Lone Star one. Or is it Lone Star's or is it just his number plate's Lone Star? I can't remember.
I can't remember.
Probably should have made a note of that. I love that. It's also, you got in the opening crawl. It's the randomness of, you've got a bit of text, and then it tells you the chapter, but chapter 11. It's like, just to let you know how stupid this is, that we randomly stick the chapter in. Not only do we make it chapter 11, but we're going to stick it in halfway down the page, because it's that's how ridiculous that is.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's a few good nods to the idiosyncrasies of Star Wars, for sure.
Yes,
and stuff that we probably wouldn't have gotten as kids as well. So I guess we're appreciating it on some newer levels nowadays as well.
And the Star Trek stuff as well, with the beam me up snotty, which is quite revolting. Beam me up snotty, beam me twice last night, sir. It was amazing. But then one thing I do still find quite funny, despite the fact that I know it's there, so I don't find it quite as funny, is the fact he refuses then to be beamed, and we find out he's actually going next door. That's
that's always been a good gag. That one, that is a good gag.
Yeah,
I'll give them that.
It-
And I did laugh when what's her face? Princess Vespa takes off her Leia earmuff
Yeah,
headphones. You think it's her hair, but it's
her
headphones.
Beats hair.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
That's
they're
still
making
quite
that now.
funny.
Baby Beats. They wouldn't be able to play that gag now because they'd have some sort of endorsement on them. You'd already be clear what they were.
Product placement. Yeah.
Quite. Was it the things in Mercedes, isn't it?
Yeah, they do. They do mention that quite a lot, don't they? And
Actually,
the Perrier air that he drinks from
Perrier.
the can.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Pizza,
even then,
Pizza Hut, Pizza the Hut. Let's
do you
talk
think they
about
actually
Pizza the Hut for the moment.
sponsored it? Oh,
No,
do
I
we
don't
have
think
to?
they did. We didn't see any logo, but that
No.
as characters go and that scene goes, is utterly revolting. I couldn't watch it. It was
I can believe it. I mean, they must have spent half their special effects budget just on that because it was so detailed and gory, and there was bubbles popping and ooze and and when his mate starts eating him, I very nearly gagged. It was so horrible. As a kid, I wasn't that repulsed by it. I just thought, oh, that's funny, Pizza the Hut. But as an adult, that is I know what you mean.
Honestly,
it's a tough watch.
I watched it before you, didn't I? And a message you just saying,
yeah,
I can't stomach it, and I genuinely couldn't. I was watching it, just like I can't watch the rest. I'm gonna have to wait for this scene to end.
I thought, oh, you wimp, can't be that bad. But oh yes, it was that bad.
Yes, it is that bad. That bad. On the subject of budget, you mentioned about spunking their budget.
Oh yeah,
on that.
Hit me.
You
were just waiting for an in for that, weren't you?
I know, but I only bring this up because I was surprised at how big the budget for this was, or reportedly at least. So, according to Mel Brooks, this is the most expensive movie he ever made.
Yeah,
and
I can imagine that.
So the estimated budget for this was $22.7 million. Okay, in
20 million of that
in 1987. Okay, well, it is, but bear in mind, I mean, like, if you think about Return of the Jedi was only 32.5.
Well, yeah, that does.
So to make
it in perspective,
parody version, and they've made it for
about 3 sets.
Yeah, 2/3 of that.
Yeah, that doesn't sound. Yeah, there's a lot of money. I think that was all on Pizza the Hut. I'm convinced it was all on the prosthetics and the
making
the
the
oozy
model
cheese.
of the Spaceballs ship.
Yeah.
Oh God, yeah. 20 seconds.
Exactly. Do you know if they actually built that whole thing, or was it like camera trickery or something? That is a proper built prop, that thing must have been freaking enormous. Even as a miniature.
I reckon 3 meters? A bit more? 5, 10?
I don't know.
I'll keep going. I'll keep going.
Saying numbers. Yes, I'll take it. Please.
6,000.
It's not a negotiation.
But so this another thing that in terms of budget and box office and whatever else, and this might allude to what we were saying the other week about movies of that era getting a second injection from videos. Yeah. So the box office, bear in mind, the budget was 22.7. The box office was only 38 million worldwide. So
as we know, it has to double its.
Yeah.
We said before, didn't we? It has to double its budget to break even.
Pretty much. Yeah, well done for reminding people of that, or enlightening anyone
myself
who's tuned in for the first time today. Welcome.
Yeah,
but I would imagine for this, because this is a sort of movie that'll have a proper cult following, and I would imagine has got a significant kick from video sales and downloads.
Yeah, for sure.
So I would have thought that that's probably helped quite a bit.
I'd say the VHS rental would have been a big slice of money for a movie like this.
Huge.
Blockbuster would have been shooing them out the door.
Video bits. Video bits.
Video bits.
Video bits. Yes.
So some listeners are thinking, what the fuck are they talking about?
Video bits. If you grew up around
these are just words
near Hoddesdon in the 90s, you'll probably know what Video Bits
You'll
is.
know. You'll know.
So yeah, but it was probably the best video shop we had around in those days. I think
They had a
They
little
always seem
arcade
to
at
have-
one point out the back.
They always seem to have loads of everything.
They had games and all
either way.
sorts.
Either way, we're digressing.
Oh yeah.
Not a walk down Hoddesdon memory lane. While we're in the ballpark of numbers and stuff as well. Interestingly, so on IMDb, in terms of ratings for this, it's got about, as near as makes any difference, 200,000 people have voted on this. And it's got a rating
Right.
of 7.1, which is very respectable. I think based upon our experience of it this week and stuff, it's probably fair to say that 7.1 is based upon more nostalgia than what people think of it right now. And again, I'd say that's fair. That's fair. You've got to judge it based upon its particularly
Its
comedy
original
movies.
context.
Exactly. Interestingly, though, that 7.1 rating is a higher rating than 5 actual Star Wars films. Now, little quiz for you. See if you can name those 5 that have got a lower rating.
Phantom Menace.
Bing.
Okay, all right. Cool. So that was a scary long delay there. The Last Jedi.
Bing.
Rise of Skywalker.
Bing.
Attack of the Clones.
Yes. One more.
And
Come on,
Solo.
easiest one. Yay, Solo.
Yes.
Bing, 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 bing. Bings everywhere.
Saving
All
the easiest
5.
for
Well
last.
done. Well done.
Oh, check me out.
So yeah, and it's which I don't know what that means. To be fair, everyone it's got a high rating. It hasn't got a higher rating than any of the ones that it came out after. Put it that way.
No.
Is that right?
But you know, that's
hang on.
Yeah, it's not going to. Yeah, of course, the original trilogy's all going to be more than 7.1, isn't it? Sure.
Yes, by some distance. Yes.
Yeah, but that's that. I was thinking about this. We were talking about this film in its original context. So 4 years after the last of the original trilogy, and as far as we know or knew at that time, could have been the last Star Wars film ever made.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just wondering, it's sort of in terms of the sort of Mel Brook strategies, he kind of missed the boat a little bit for the hype train for Star Wars. Do you know what I mean? Like 4 years after Return of the Jedi. Just wondering if it was a little late for the gravy train. Whether that affected the box office.
Again, we're thinking of it in terms of 2023. 4 years.
Yeah.
4 years wasn't like 4 years now, is it? Like if you tell a joke that's 4 weeks old now, it's probably out of date.
Well, yeah, true.
Was in those days 4 years. You know, things hung around a hell of a lot longer, didn't they?
Yeah, no, I guess so. Yeah, it's hard to think about it in those terms. And it would have been, maybe people would have just been hungry for anything that even slightly resembled Star Wars, you know, after that length of time, because, well, as we know, the 16-year dry period, we'd have
16 years.
We'd have had anything, wouldn't we? We'd have bitten your arm off for a parody or anything.
Yeah.
So quite the dry spell.
Talking of parodies, did you see this week? I saw someone had mocked up. Can't remember what they call it. As Jar Jar B, like Barbie, Jar Jar Binks looking like Barbie, and it was kind of like confusing. It's confusing, I must say.
Make you question a few things.
Had me wondering all sorts of things.
I don't know how to feel about that.
No, neither do I.
Do I want Margot Robbie or Jar Jar Barbie? I don't know. It's
Jar Jar Barbie. Yeah. But if you bear right, well, we're saying Star Wars as well 4 years prior. Like, what was it? Alien was what, 79?
Yes.
Ish.
Test me now.
I mean,
yeah.
And Wizard of Oz 50s.
Yeah. How's that relevant?
Yeah, exactly. And what else did I say?
For the parodies, Planet of the
Star Trek. I mean, Star Trek was when they were doing beaming in
I
what?
guess it
Or
was
transporting
yeah,
it?
good because
70s,
that
early
was
70s.
that just before Next Generation as well, I guess. So
Yeah,
very
I mean,
dated references.
exactly. So yeah, so maybe it's not an
Yeah,
issue.
maybe it's
And
not.
like, as I say, not an issue, not nearly as much of an issue as it would be nowadays, because nowadays
Yeah,
you get
yeah.
so much content that things come and go so quickly that
You've got to be
things are,
right on the button of
oh,
it, haven't you? Just
just
or it's
like us
gone and it's too
talking
late.
about films made in 1987, right with our
Exactly.
fingers on the pulse.
Boom. You got to get in there when the hype is at its height, or it's you're just not relevant
Heightest,
anymore. The
no,
heightest of the hype.
whatever that means. Anyway, on that bumbling moronic comments by me, not by you. I'm not criticizing your fine work. Let's take
Should hope
another
not.
short interlude and we'll be back in just a moment.